When we talk about the rules of Tails of Equestria, we must keep in mind two things: 3 basic traits and the dice we will be rolling. As you already know, the game uses 6 dice with different numbers of faces. D4 is the weakest die and D20 is the best. If we talk about the traits we roll on, they are body, mind and charm. The body trait shows how strong, fast and agile you are. Ponies with a high body trait, for example, can lift things that no one would be able to do. A perfect example here would be Big Macintosh. However, this trait does not always refer to physical strength. The body trait is also responsible for speed and agility. So, if you thought of Rainbow Dash now, you get 1 point. The mind trait represents the pony's intelligence, memory and wisdom. It allows you to solve puzzles, find traces, be more perceptive and have more knowledge. However, that's not all, as the mind trait also affects the pony's will and composure. A pony with a high value of this trait is less likely to be sad and scared. In the case of unicorns, the mind trait also carries over to the magic they use. Ponies with a high mind trait include Zecora, Twilight Sparkle and Princess Celestia. The last and third trait is charm. It determines not only how pretty and nice a pony is. Charm is also responsible for personality, leadership and interpersonal skills and how easily you make friends. However, charm is a trait that is not so clear-cut. For example, Rarity and Fluttershy have a high charm trait, but they are quite different. Now that we've cleared up the basics, let's move on to how tests work and what they even for. We roll the dice when we need to perform something with a chance of failure. For example, lifting a piano with telekinesis or calming an angry blue goat. The Game Master sets a difficulty to the test you need to pass. He gives you a number from 2 to 20 and will tell you what trait you should use for the test. Then, players roll dice. Depending on the result, something is either a success or not. If the result on the dice is the same or higher, the action succeeds. But if you are unlucky and roll on the dice 1, it means spectacular failure. Not only does the action fail, but something terrible happens. On the other hand, you can also be incredibly successful in the throw. This happens when the roll of your die is double or more than the difficulty of the test. In this case, the action succeeds and you gain additional benefits. It doesn't end there though, because sometimes you can use your talents to help yourself in the test. Let's take Empty Shore for this example, which we created in the previous video. Let's say she pretends to be a guardswoman and tries to convince someone to open a locked door. Therefore, she rolls a d6 charm dice and a d6 characterization talent dice. So, we roll 2 dice and choose the higher result. Of course, we can't forget about our friends. If several ponies are doing something at the same time, such as moving a table, they all roll the dice, choose the highest score, and the difficulty of the test drops by 1 for each pony. Sometimes the difficulty of the test may be beyond the reach of the dice. For example, you need to roll a 10, but your pony on the trait has only a 6. Nothing lost. If you roll a 6 on the d6, you can roll a d8. If you roll an 8 on d8, you can roll a d10, and so on and so on. In the end, we choose the highest score. Sometimes players can compete. In this case, both sides roll on the same trait. The winner is the one whose test goes better. So much for the basic rules. It may seem that there are a lot of them and that they are complicated, but this is not true. You only need to play to see that Tails of Equestria is an enjoyable and simple RPG system. In the next episode, I will tell you about combat. Thank you for your attention and see you next time.